What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic. Today we're going to talk some basketball, NBA basketball. Today we're going to talk about a name that's been in the news for the past couple of days. Somebody who possibly could, in my opinion, will shake up free agency when it comes to these free agents. He's not the biggest name out there. He's not the Kawhis or the KDs. But he's a guy out there who could possibly shake up this free agency pool. And his name has been generating a lot of buzz because he's been shown interest. We're talking about Charlotte Hornets point guard Kemba Walker. Now, a couple days ago, Clutch Sports reported that 4 teams have interest this season, this coming up free agency period, for the point guard Kemba Walker. And those 4 teams are the New York Knicks, the Indiana Pacers, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Orlando Magic. Now, okay, we're going to talk about these 4 teams real quick, and we're going to talk about what could actually happen. And just a quick note, the Knicks are out of it. Like, basically, Kemba Walker is like they playing B/C. Like, they playing if they can't get Kyrie. They are all hands on deck on getting KD and Kyrie. And Kyrie's definitely the number 1 option. If they can't get Kyrie, then they'll go to Kemba. And I think them trying to get Kyrie, even if they don't even land Kyrie, would probably mean that they won't get Kemba, because by the time that they know they can't get Kyrie and they try to focus their attention on Kemba, these other teams or another team will swoop in and woo Kemba. Kemba signs on one team, and the Knicks won't be able to get a chance to sign them because they'll be all their focus and attention on Kyrie Irving. So that's why I don't think the Knicks is not a serious option. Same thing with Indiana. Yes, I think that Indiana will target him, but I don't know if Kemba will go to Indiana, because I mean, Indiana is a nice team, it's a playoff team, but he will be the second best player on that team in behind Vic. I don't know if he want to play second fiddle to Vic. Like, it's one thing that because him going to LA, he plays second fiddle to LeBron. It's one thing to be the second guy, the second option with LeBron, then being the second option with Victor Oladipo. So I mean, I wouldn't completely rule it out, but just that alone, I don't see him going to Indiana just to be the second best player on that team. So then you have, in my opinion, the 2 strongest teams is the Lakers and the Magic. Okay, the Lakers, they have the palm trees, they got the good weather, they got the Hollywood and all this stuff. They got LeBron, but they also have all that drama, and they in the West. And also, they another team that's going to be trying to target Kyrie Irving, try to get Kawhi Leonard. They're going to be focused on other things. Again, Kemba's not going to be their primary option. So by the time that they start striking on these other people, Kemba might already be signed by the time they get to calling Kemba. So I just think that. And that's, I mean, of course, that's wishful thinking for me. That's what I'm hoping, because I'm a Magic fan. But also, they also playing in the West. There's a lot of things. So then we got the Orlando Magic, who former head coach Steve Clifford, who him and Steve Clifford, from what I'm hearing, have a good relationship, and he also credits Steve Clifford's system and the Steve Clifford's coaching style to jumpstart his all-star status, to jumpstart the way he started playing his career. He gives a credit to Steve Clifford and that system. So it's a system that you know, and to be honest, this team is well built, better built than the Charlotte Hornets was. So I think that would be more enticing to him. Now, the trouble with that is the salary cap space, because that's one thing the Lakers do have outside of LeBron that's over the Magic, is they have clear salary cap space. They can clearly sign him. So when it comes to the Magic, it's a little bit more tricky. And when I made my last video talking about D'Angelo Russell, I got criticized and called out for me being honest, because people took what I said too literal. Because I said I didn't know the salary cap space. People took that as I did not know, like I don't know salary cap space. No, I know salary cap space. What I was saying, and I thought that y'all could basically read in between the lines, but what I was actually saying is that I don't know the exact number that we have. I don't know, do we have 20 million? Do we have 22 million? Do we have 25 million? Do we got 25.5 million? Like, I don't know the exact number that we sitting with at that time. I didn't know if it was 20 million, 21, 22 million, 23 million. I didn't know the exact number at the time. And I didn't want to just throw out a fake number, just be throwing out a fake number. But I looked at the salary cap space. On the books, we have on the books already spent $84 million, and the salary cap is looking like it's going to be at $109 million. 109 million, and we have 80. We have 84 already spent. So that gives you around $25 million to play with. Now, Kemba, if he stays with Charlotte can offer him the supermax 5 years, 22 million. To 5 years, 221 million. They're not gonna give them that max because they do. That's gonna be salary cap straight. That's gonna hurt them as an organization. Now, any other team, the max they can give him is 4 years, 141 million, which is $35.5 million. So you gotta clear up enough space just to sign him, and we only have on the books 25 million. But we do have Fournier, who's on the books for 17 million, and Mozgov, who's on the books for 16 million. And if you can dump one of those contracts, if you can buy out Mozgov, if you could do a sign and trade, that's all sign and trade. If you could do some type of salary dump to unload one of these contracts off the books to open up the space for Kemba, and for them to even be considering targeting Kemba means that this organization must feel very comfortable that they can unload at least one of those contracts. I actually hope that they can find a way, I know it's pie in the sky, to find a way to unload both contracts. I'm going to get into that in a minute, why I would want them to find a way to unload both contracts. Because if you unload both, that gives you 33 off of those two contracts, and that right there is the money you need to sign Kemba. But they have to they must feel confident at the very least that they can find a way to get rid of one of those contracts. If it's a buyout for Mozgov, if it's a sign and trade, if they must feel pretty confident they can find a way to dump one of those contracts. So that's how you open up the salary cap space for Kemba. You have 25 million, you find a way to dump one of those contracts, if not both, boom, then you have the money to sign Kemba. And when I mean dump, I'm also including signing and trades. If you can, if Charlotte can sign Kemba and you package some of these things to make the money move and be equal. Now, let's talk about something I really want to talk about when it comes to this, because I see a lot of people go after the report posted. A lot of people in the Magic organization, not organization, but a lot of people from the Magic fan base, Magic Nation, have been biting back and forth, going back and forth, arguments, just basically saying it's some stuff, just complete nonsense about why they don't want to sign Kemba, why we should sign Kemba, and all these other nice, fine, good stuff. And one of the biggest things that people keep arguing about Kemba is saying that Kemba's too old. Because Kemba just turned 29 May 8th. So they're talking about that Kemba's old, I don't want to sign Kemba for the max, blah, 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 we need to sign Vooch. So I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. Vooch ain't no spring chicken his damn self. So I did some little digging and some looking up, and come to find out, Kemba Walker and Vucevic not only were in the same draft class, they were born the same year. Vooch turns 29 by the time the season starts. Vooch turns 29 in October. Kemba doesn't turn 30 until the end of the season. If you still playing basketball when Kemba's turned 30, that means you in the conference. By the time Kemba's birthday comes, that's the conference finals next year. So if Kemba's still playing basketball, that means he's in the conference finals on his 30th birthday. If he turns 30 while he's playing basketball, which you accept that. Like, just to get that out there. So if your argument is that Kemba's too old, you cannot sit there and say you want to sign Vooch because you're going to be signing a lesser player that's the same age. So they don't go. You can't sit there and call Kemba old in one breath. I don't want to give him the max. He old. I don't want to sign him, but you want to sign Vooch when they're the same damn age. Come on now. I understand Vooch is on your team. He made an all-star, even though I put an asterisk by it because it wasn't a real all-star. But we're going to get to that in a little minute. But you can't, they both the same age. They both 29. You can, by the time the season starts, when the season starts in October, both of them going to be 29. They both going to be 29 when the season ends next year. And then the following year, they both going to be 30 by the time the season starts. Come on, they the same damn age. You're going to split hairs over, 3 months, 4 months? Wait, because it turns in May, June, July, August, September, October. 6 months. You're gonna split hairs over 6 months? Come on. No. Now, let's break down, let's talk about these two players, because I felt, from my own opinion, that just off of just what I see from basketball wise, that Kemba's a better player. Like, he's a 3-time All-Star. He's All NBA, made 13 All NBA. Vooch is an All-Star, but he, like I say, he kind of backed onto his All-Star. But if Vooch makes an All-Star game again next year and the year after, once he starts racking up All-Stars, you don't care that he got one All-Star from as an alternate. Once he gets 4 or 5 All-Stars, you don't care. He's a 4 or 5-time All-Star. But when you just got one on your belt, and that one is you get back in, that's how you look at it, like, he was an all-star, but is he really an all-star? Like, stuff like that. So we gon' like, what I'm saying about Kemba is exactly what you need. Kemba is a scorer, something that we don't have, something that we haven't had since Tracy McGrady, a pure scorer that we haven't had since Tracy McGrady left. And I mean, a guy who can consistently get you 20 to 25 every year. He gonna get you 20 to 25 every year. And even if it's a bad year, he gonna get you 20. If it's a good year, he gonna get you 25, 26, 27 points average that season. That's what I'm talking about. That type of scoring. And it's somebody who doesn't fold when it goes to the playoffs. Because I'm looking at Kemba's last 4 years. His last 4 seasons, he's averaged 20 points, 23 points, 22 points, 25 points off of 42% shooting, 44% shooting, 43% shooting from the field. That's what I'm looking at. And then the 2 times he went to the playoffs, he averaged 19 points once. He averaged 19 and he averaged 22. Now, he got better because the first time he made the playoffs in the regular season, he averaged 17 points that year. That was in 2014-2015 season. He averaged 17 points. He had 17 points off of 30%. Off of 38% from the field, and in the postseason, he averaged 20 points off of 38 from the field. After shooting 38% from the field, and then the second time he went to the playoffs, he averaged 20 in the regular season. In the playoffs, he averaged 22. And he must have shot at high volume because he was a volume shooter because he shot at 40%. So he got better. Nikola, let's look at Nikola's past couple of seasons. And then we're going to go to his postseason. Nikola, the past couple of seasons, his last 4 seasons, he has gotten you... where is it at? His last 4 seasons, Nikola has gotten... Where's his points? Oh, there you go. Nikola has gotten you 19 points. 18. Wait, no, I'm sorry. He got you 18 points, 14 points, 16 points, and 20 points the year before he had 19. So he's got you 18, 14, 16, and 20 the last 4 years. And in the postseason, he only got you 12. He only got you 11 points. He shot 51% from the field. He was 20 and 51 this year from the field. But in the postseason, he was 11 for 36, off 36% shooting. Come on now, that's atrocious. Like, he completely folded when the postseason got here. Like, he completely folded. Kemba's a better player. Like, he got better when the postseason got here, and he's a better pure scorer. And to be honest, you do not in today's NBA, you do not want your center to be your main scorer, especially in the East. With a player like Nikola, and don't give me, he was double team and triple team. No, it wasn't. Marc Gasol spiked that ass. Marc Gasol did what he had to do. And that's just Marc Gasol. In the East, you're going to have to go against Giannis. You're going to have to go against Embiid. And what about if Anthony Davis comes to the Knicks? I know that both Anthony Davis and Giannis don't play the 5, but they are both the big men. So in a postseason, in a 7-game series, that's who they're going to get to guard a player like Nikola, if Nikola's your best player. And they're going to be able to take him away. Because if Marc Gasol could take away Nikola, I'm damn sure know that Giannis can. Because Giannis the damn best defensive. Him and Kawhi are the 2 best defensive players in the NBA right now. And also, I'm pretty sure that both Embiid and Anthony Davis can play defense as well, could take away Nikola Vucevic. So that's the situation that you'll put yourself in, and that will just like this past postseason. If Nikola goes down, that hamstring. If your offense, your team is centered around him, and you find a way to stop him and neutralize him, the rest of the team folds. The rest of the team is not stepping up. Now, if you devise a system that you don't have to use him, like if he's not part of the equation, and you have to find other ways to score anyway, that spreads the ball out, that makes it different, that makes it easier for the other guys to play. Now, as I sit back and look at the team, I'm just sitting there just thinking. This is just me just spitballing. Just me thinking. If you tell me that, now how does this team sound to you? You have Kemba as the one. You play Markelle as the two. I know people also screaming in the comments, "Oh, we got Markelle Fultz." Markelle Fultz, NBA comparison with James Harden. James Harden is a two guard. He's a combo guard. I think Markelle Fultz can be a combo guard. So you tell me you got your guard. Your one is Kemba. Your two is Markelle Fultz. Your three is Isaac. Your four is Gordon. Your five is Bamba. Because both Bamba and Markelle Fultz need to play to get better. Then you come off the bench. Your five coming off the bench is Marquard Williams. 2 and 3 is some type of combination of the 16 pick, whoever you draft at 16. If it's Kevin Porter Jr., if it's Langford, if it's Nikhil Alexander, if it's I forgot what the guy Hero. If whoever you end up drafting at 16, and Terrence Ross, because I do think that I do think you can keep Terrence Ross if the money works out, because I'm about to explain why that will happen. Wes and Kim Birch. That's your five, and then you find a way to fill out the last 2 to 3 spots, because you go probably 13 deep as a team. But you're not gonna play 13. 13 is not gonna be in your rotation. That 10 is probably not even gonna be in your rotation. You probably have a rotation of 8 or 9 players, depending on how you depending on the game and the series and things like that. That team sounds. I think that team right there in the East, especially if Kawhi leaves Toronto, and even though Kevin Durant and Kyrie, all of them go to New York, that's going to make Boston not be as good. That's damn sure going to make Toronto not going to be as good. So the top 3 teams in the East would be the Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving Knicks. You got Giannis Milwaukee, and you got Philadelphia in the 76ers. Those are the clear-cut number 3. Then the team not just named, the type of Magic team not just named, that Magic team, Indiana, whatever left of Boston, whatever's going on in Brooklyn, those teams are fighting for those last couple spots. The Magic can easily be a top 4 team, be the number 4 seed, host a playoff series, and potentially win the playoff series. Well, I'm not trying to win the NBA Finals in 2020. Save that for 2021, 2, 23, something like that. I say that a little bit in the distant future, in the upcoming future. I'm trying to get to the second round of playoffs at the very least. That's what I want the number one, not the number one goal, but I want you to at least be able to show production, show improvement, able to win a playoff series. That's what we need. We don't need to just sit on hands. Oh, because Nicolo's been here and Fournier. Bump all that. They've been here for 5-6 years, and you see what happened. They finally got a playoff series. It took them 5 to 6 years to finally get. Oh yeah, we had Frank Vogel. Oh, we had Scott Skiles. We had Jacques Vaughn as our head coach. That's what's holding us back. We had Rob Hennigan running the team. That's holding us back. Fuck all that. That's giving all those other guys too much credit. No, these guys were on the court playing basketball, and they couldn't get the job done. Point blank, period. You get better talent. Kemba's better than all, and I think that if you find a way to move Mozgov, if it's a sign and trade, whatever, however you're gonna be able to do it, Mozgov, Fournier, and then also find a way to get rid of DJ Austin, because you no longer need him. Because I think that Michael Williams is better suited to be your backup point guard right there. And since you have Kemba as your starter, you no longer need DJ, and that's $7 million right there. I think if you're able to do that, you already had $25 million already on your salary cap. If you're able to unload 2 of those contracts, you'll be able to re-sign. You'll be able to re-sign Terrence Ross, unless a team just completely just goes out there and just completely just try to just give him a exuberant contract just to allure him away from you. And then, of course you're not going to break the bank, but under a contract of reason, if those things work out, you should be able to bring back you should be able to bring back Terrence Ross. Like I said, I feel that if the organization is even thinking about reaching out to Kemba Walker, as according to Clutch Sports has reported, that means they must feel real comfortable that they can get rid of, like I said, either Fournier's, Mozgov's, and like I said, more than likely DJ Austin, just because you no longer need him. Because I think Marco Williams is a better fit, especially from the defensive side. If you ever play like Kemba as your number one point guard, they must feel they can find a way to dump two of those contracts. If it's a buyout, if it's a sign and trade, whatever they find, they must feel confident, very very confident that they can unload one of those contracts. They have to, or else. Because right now they don't have the like, just off of just pure season, they don't have the space. Like now LA has the space, New York has the space. I don't know what Indiana's cap space is looking like, but I know that LA can sign one. I know they can sign at least one. They might be able to sign two. New York can sign at least two max players. So these teams don't need to move nothing. They know clear cut that they can sign somebody. The Magic have to move some things, but they must feel very comfortable and very confident. And that's your sell pitch. Hey, this is going to be your team. This is going to be your number one team right here. You're going to be the number one option. You go to Indiana, but you're going to be the number two option. You can go to LA. You're going to be in the West, and you're going to be the number two option. LeBron's going to get the credit. You got all that turmoil with Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka line talking about that Kobe had dinner with Heath Ledger and stuff like that. Like, come on. All Magic all on TV. You got all that turmoil going on. Do you really trust what's going on over there? And it's the West. You still got to deal with Golden State. Especially if Kawhi goes to LA. You got to deal with the Portland that was just in the conference finals. Denver is coming. Okay, so you got all those teams over there. You really want to go in that mess and you the second option? And if things go wrong, who they gonna blame? They gonna blame LeBron. He's the greatest player. They gonna blame Kemba. Kemba can't do it. Kemba not Kyrie. He can't get done like Kyrie could. Kyrie would have helped him. Kyrie would have helped us. You come here, like I said, New York. I think New York is so out of the way because they targets is KD and Kyrie. Indiana, you go Indiana. Indiana's a good team too. Yes, a good team. They went to the playoffs. Boom. But you know what though? You're going to be the number two option. Here, you're going to be the number one option. You're going to be the number one option with a team that went to the playoffs without you. They don't need you to go to the playoffs. This team is built right for you. You got all these 3-and-D guys able to do stuff like this. And you should be able to be clear-cut, be the number 4 team in the East, host a playoff series, win a playoff series, and we build from right there. Because remember, Kemba, if you watch that last game without Nikola, without without Nikola, without Isaac, Kemba played his heart out. Kemba dropped 43, had 2 blocks, 5 assists, 6 assists, something like that. Like he was 4 of 9 from 3. He balled because he was trying to get his team to the playoffs. He played his ass off. And he's seen AG drop 27. He's seen Terrence Ross drop 35. Didn't even need the win. Because they already had their playoff spot a lot, clinched. And he had no help from Charlotte, and you was at home. You come here, you bring that same spectacular, that razzle. The way this team is set up, Kemba can do all the little crossing up and razzle-dazzle, switch up and all this type of stuff, pull up, because you ain't got nobody jockeying for your spot. Because none of these guys have aggressive. My thing with Isaac and Bamba, they just need to put on some weight. They need to get bigger and bulkier. But come on now. Come on. I think if he gets it, they a top 4 team in the East. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Comment below if you haven't. Click that bell, get more videos. I holla.